I think I agree with you on all those points. I think the one good thing that they have about it is it does kind of allow them to have a strong dual lane support with the Weird.
I'm going to make a bit of a go here on the mid lane. Sentry's down, so Jabs will see this coming, but it's questionable how much he can do in reaction. There are TPs coming through, the rest of the team trying to turn up and help him out. Jabs will be dropped though. First blood picked up by XZ. He's trying to get himself out as well on the Ricky. Jumps across. The bug is on him though. He's not going to be able to get it off in time. XZ will fall in return. Victoria also taken down as well as XY.
This is the big concern for Faceless.
Down bottom, XY coming to interrupt this, but they've got eyes on him here, and XY is in a lot of trouble. He's taken down for that play. Ice has come in with the lasso, trying to do something about Jijing, who's desperately getting himself away with the stick charges in the backup of Victoria. Jijing should be fine. Oh boy, he messes up. He goes back into the Firefly. Bit of a misplay there from the Slardar, costing him his life. LGD are making sure that they could try and find the favorable trade, but Ice, he seems to be outplaying them. He's got a double kill. Arme's falling low as well in the Firefly, will jump across. Show himself.
Yeah, he'll scout him out, and that Sentry Ward will see the Ricky as well. Puts down there we go, Sentry on both sides.
Now he's going to make a go in onto the Ogre, with the amplified damage, as tanky as he is, he's still almost certainly going to melt. That Astral will finish him off. Ult from the Ricky here as they hold their position in the midst of it all, but they're looking to surround the Slardar. Jijing will be taken down in return. Jab's actually going to be able to find XZ as well as he turns up to the fight to back up the rest of his side of Faceless.
You can get huge value out of it.
And they're back into the pit here, Faceless, trying to finish this one off. They've got to be careful. Jijing has got the blink of the crush. Jumps, he gets the two-man crush off. Immediately responds though. Ice with the lasso, but it's taken off. Victoria with a false promise onto XZ. Jijing trying to get himself out, but the damage from the drought looks to be nearly too much. He's kept alive. Then the Fate Seeding stopping the damage. He survives, and his Faceless losing 3 as maybe is turning up and absolutely pounding them to pieces. They've got the Astral onto Ice. He's stuck in the cloud. Double kill for maybe as LGD take down 4. They move back into the pit, and some very, very nice play there from Victoria, keeping both Jijing and XZ alive with that Oracle performance.
Got the instant. Really a good time to take a free tower, then they fall back and defend the tower.
Oh, that's why. He has been spotted out here. That Astro. Yeah.
It's a nice item against an OD.
He's getting a good grab here onto Arme. See if they've got the damage to bring him down. They'll have to do it twice, of course. He's already down to half health, but Victoria's there in the neighborhood. And as we're seeing, just
doesn't even need the false promise.
Yeah, the damage is not there. And in fact, they want to jump back in. On the side of it, they found Black. Black immediately initiated on the Sanity's Eclipse coming through. XY out of mana, has to get himself away from this fight. They've lost one. Nuts is trying for the TP out. It's not going to be successful.
For as long as possible, in the hopes that your carries can get those late game core items they need.
But talking about carries and late games, Jabs is getting absolutely hammered on by maybe. Black will turn up and actually looking to turn, but Jijing's there, jumps in with a two-man crush. Ice turning up as well. And it's a bit of a full-scale fight though. Arme continues to focus his attention towards Jabs. Jabs falling low. Actually, Jabs surviving for the last bit of time. Finally goes down there as Arme jumps forward. And now Black and Ice potentially in trouble as well. Black trying to get himself out into the safety of the trees. They're not safe at all. Armor.
Yeah, that's absolutely absurd. He recognizes the threat. The only way he dies is physical damage.
Jijing following through again. XZ's jumping. They get the two-man crush. Jabs will move forward with the Stone Gaze. LGD back up for the time being. They get a good discuss onto XZ. Take down one. Arme and the daggers again will blink forward onto Nuts. Jijing again coming in on the top with a two-man crush. Ice will have the lasso onto maybe, but Victoria's there with the false promise, saving him. Ice taken down. It's a painful trip back to base as Faceless again losing 3. Will be back up again by the looks of it for one more fight, but they've already lost the full set of ranks up top. It looks like they will lose the mid one as well. And potentially one more fight in it for them, but not if they lose the Medusa like this. They immediately jump in for Jijing. Arme, the Sanity's Eclipse from maybe, hammering down onto Faceless' heads.
Jabs just could never finish his core items. He ends the game with 4k gold, but he has Lincoln's Yasha at 35 minutes in. That's not going to cut it. Obviously, he could have had like the Manta style or something like this parts of the Skadi to work on, but LGD got too far ahead. They hit their timings. They won that first big fight. I mean, this game, to me,
that fight around the Roche.
Yeah, that first Roche fight is the one fight that you look at as far as where this game was decided. I think Faceless already had a weaker early game than they were hoping for based on their draft. You want things to go a bit
Slark in that way, but if Slark is ganking other heroes, it's fantastic.
Hey. There you go. Twitter question asker. SF picked not only previously, but also in this game for you.
It's not stopping Arme farming. That's the main thing here. Well, top lane, yeah, there we have it. That is your first blood. Bit of an underestimate there. The damage, the nuke damage that Jijing can get out with that HQ. 2 points.
Yeah, they want to try and take advantage of that.
Can actually take him down. He's got 1 point in the heel. Will it be enough? Already the jump forward from Black. She's being brought low. As the stick charges, tries to run away with the bonus movement speed. The fairy fire as well. Is it enough? No, it's not.
Dominating the farm so much, and they've got to be able to feel that. Like, I'm sure every core is just like, I'm winning my lane.
And I's terrified there. Jijing runs at him and immediately Purify, Repel, GA, everything to keep himself alive. Remember, the duel's back up. So in this play up top, LGD could potentially find 2 bonuses here for Jijing if Faceless aren't careful.
Yeah. Level 4 overwhelming odds. That'll catch both heroes.
So it's push onwards from LGD. I mean, very hard for Faceless to stop. Jabs is going to come back across to spot out Victoria Jijing as the duel. We'll see if he's able to use it. Good raises here from Maybe, getting massive amounts of damage out onto Faces. Then force back Jijing, finds the duel on the perfect target, gets the Omni Knight. Ice is down. They move in for more, taking down Jabs. Nuts, hiding himself in the trees. Maybe he's searching for him with these raises. The ball's flying just above the Nuts. But, oh, no, there's contact.
Oh, getting into an Eclipse, into a Requiem, and Luna's about to be
and Jijing immediately jumps in, looking for the duel onto the OD. There comes the Golem as well on the backline of it all with the Eclipse. OD is able to force himself away and survive. I'll turn attention towards Ice. We'll have a nice blast back. And Black even wants to try and go back in on this one. Closing on us and maybe revving up the old Black, taking a huge amount of damage and he's dead.
And Faceless are in all sorts of trouble.
Jijing in the trees, ready for the jump through, and immediately is there. On to the Keeper of the Light. There'll be a 5 left to try and slow down the onslaught, but it's not going to save the call. Jijing getting the bonus damage.
So much gold for it. They'd probably get like 1,500 gold, maybe even 2k gold for killing this Luna or SF because of how far ahead they are.
And got Jijing actually looking towards Black and
by himself, yeah. Why
Black,
not?
he nearly survives with the Shadow Dance, but Victoria just relocates in with the balls and he just disappears. Maybe gets off the Requiem. Will be popped by the Sanity's Eclipse. Jijing jumping in, trying to finish off Jabs. Actually gets relocated out, and that's going to mean they can't quite finish off the kill on the OD. But he does save his own life. Victoria saying, we're playing the safe game here. No throwing today, sir.
Pixie's dropping the rocket bottom though.
LGD just going all in here and Faceless. I'll see what they can find here. Black leading the way, repelled up. Coming in with the Manta Star, the Eclipse as well. Nuts just pops there to the beams, flying down from the skies. Ice to be dropped as well. Black was able to finish off the Warlock on the back lines of it all. But Jijing setting up with the BKB, looking towards Jabs. Isn't actually going to go for that as Arme turns his attention towards Black of the Slot. Black has the Shadow Dance. Arme being brought down low. Jabs is going to get dropped though. Arme survives. Victoria turns up in time.
Go fast.
I'll see what they can find here. Black leading the way, repelled up. Coming in with the Manta Star, the Eclipse as well. Nuts just pops there to the beams, flying down from the skies. Ice to be dropped as well. Black was able to finish off the Warlock on the back lines of it all. But Jijing setting up with the BKB, looking towards Jabs. Isn't actually going to go for that as Arme turns his attention towards Black of the Slot. Black has the Shadow Dance. Arme being brought down low. Jabs is going to get dropped though. Arme survives. Victoria turns up in time to top the Luna back up. Black's on his way back to base, but the rest of his teammates are down. Black doing anything here on his own. He doesn't have the Shadow Dance. He will jump in for a couple of touches onto Arme. With the evasion and the armor he's got because of the Agi, it's all too much for Faceless. GG is called. LGD turning up today, showing us a very, very strong performance. A lot of people anticipated this team coming in at last minute to be a bit of a titan, and already in this first series we're seeing exactly why people had high hopes for them.
Yeah, there's one of those teams who didn't quite qualify for the event, but if you did like a top 16 teams in the world,
yeah,
most people would have actually included them there. They just had not the best showing in the qualifiers, and they absolutely stomped Faceless here. This was